With Rob and Dorsey. Today we're out here gleaning at Miller's Farm. Gleaning is where you pick fresh produce. We're picking today collard greens and kales, and it's donated to the Capital Area Food Banks for people who are in need of food. Today we're helping to knock out hunger. This is the U.S. Coast Guard and many other federal agencies for the Feds Feeds Family Food Drive program. And we have Julie from USDA.
Hi there.
Hello.
Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi, good morning. My name is Julie Henderson, and I'm here on behalf of the Mid-Atlantic Gleaning Network. And we're out here near Miller's Farm in Clinton, Maryland, and this morning we are picking collard greens and kale. We've got a huge number of folks out here today from all government agencies out here to harvest these fresh produce for the Feds Feeds Family Initiative, which all proceeds go to the food banks here in this area, including the Maryland Food Bank, the Capital Area Food Banks, and which distribute them into Virginia. Again, this is a great initiative. This is a summertime initiative, and we just really appreciate all the help that people have come together and to help support the Feds Feeds Family program. So the Feds Feeds Family Initiative is a time for federal employees to basically give back to communities. As we know, in the summertime, school is out and a lot of children don't have those 3 meals a day. So the food banks basically get emptied out. So federal workers come together beginning on June 1st and through the end of August, and we collect perishable and non-perishable foods for our local food banks. Now, this is what we're doing in the Mid-Atlantic area, here in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. But the Feds Feeds Family Initiative is actually nationwide. So as we all know, government workers are all across the United States and around the world. And we encourage folks to donate non-perishable items to their offices, to their local food banks, as well as go out and find gleaning opportunities in their communities. Matches, make sure those are cleaned off too, okay? And it's just throw them in the bag. I ask that you tie the bags like a shoestring as opposed to a knot. Okay, like you know how you tie your shoe. If we can, bring them to this end of the field. They weigh sometimes, depending on how full they are, they can be maybe 30, 40 pounds. Again, I haven't picked up anything that was too heavy this morning, so it just depends on how compact how you stuff them, okay? And keep in mind sort of how many bags that you're filling. And so, because this is a competitive deal, right? This is all for charity. This is all for our food banks in our communities in Virginia and D.C. and Maryland. But we know with the Feds Feeds Family Initiative, people want to make sure they're the Hall of Famers and their agency wins the big awards, okay? So again, this is a great effort. It's so good to see so many people out here this morning. Let's stay on the first 3 rows of the kale. We'll let that group down there finish the collards, okay? Any questions, let me know, but I do need a gleaning form from everybody. And before you leave, let me know what your number is, how many bags you've done, okay?
I was born, I think, as a giver because my mother always gave, and my siblings and I decided that we weren't going to do that. But as I grew older, I recognized the importance of giving. And even though I've been diagnosed with terminal congestive heart failure, this glazing gives me therapy. It takes my mind off of things, and also give me a passion of helping somebody else, which is what my gift is in life. And I'm just so happy to be out here today because I'm also able to network with other people, and I see how hard they are working to compete to give to others. And it's a wonderful thing and a wonderful day. And as I look up, I say, Lord, how am I doing?
Happy to be here, picking for Feds Feeds Family. I know this is going to a good cause, and have my girls out here doing their social responsibility so that they understand how blessed they are. So thank you. Happy to be here.
From Worldwide Riders Motorcycle Club. We're based out of Odenton Fort Meade's military-based club. We have 4 chapters, one in Fort Bragg, one in Savannah, Georgia, one in Aberdeen, and Fort Meade. We love to come out and help and support charity events. The members that are out supporting today are UK, who is our road captain. I, of course, the secretary, and our newest member is our prospect, which is Cynthia. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Sophia Tyler from DHS, United States Citizen and Immigration Services, and today I have been gleaning with the Feds Feeds Family Program. Today we have collected 20 bags of kale and collard greens, and it has been a joyous occasion. We have enjoyed our time assisting the community, and we'll be back next year. Thank you.
Department of Education's Federal Student Aid Office. I'm also with Shoe Girl Incorporated, which is a nonprofit organization that services girls between the ages of 9 and 17. And I'm out here just working to help feed families. This is what it's all about, putting in the time to pick food that has been grown to support our hungry, and that's what we're out here doing, and we love it.
Today, we are at Miller Farms with Michael Hazel from the Mid-Atlantic Gleaning Network. It's also called as Magnet. What we're doing here today is we're gleaning.
Okay, well, here at Magnet, basically what we do is we salvage anything that would go back into the ground. So basically, the fields right here, what you're seeing right now, would usually go back in the ground if it's not used or if the farmer doesn't use it. What happens is they have to, there's a business. So what happens is they take the ground and they're going to go ahead and turn it back into the ground so they can plant other crops. So what happens is we get groups and volunteers that come in, and they come in and help us pick all the produce, pick it, we bag it, and then we send it out to the community. So it's basically a process of just saving good produce and sending it out to the community of those in need.
Where is the food being donated?
Food goes to Capital Area Food Bank, Maryland Food Bank, in the community, Washington, D.C., all up and down through the Mid-Atlantic area. Basically, what we try to do is give those the process of having produce in their homes, because produce is very expensive in the grocery store. So a lot of times when, say, if a person's on a fixed income of that nature or something like that, they're not able to really buy the fresh produce. Most produce in the grocery store could cost anywhere from 99 cents, 89 cents, even up to $1.29, $1.79. So basically what happens is we take this produce, and the agencies, they push it out to all the major small agencies, also like Arlington Food Assistance Center, Food for Others, MANA, all these different agencies get the produce, they bag it up, separate it, and give it out to the clients.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. How many years has Magnet been doing this?
20 years plus.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many people do you have in your company that helps with this effort?
In volunteer staff, there's a little bit over, I want to say, 200 to 300 volunteers per year. We have a staff of 18, and a majority of them are full-time. We have maybe 3 or 4 that are part-time, and then we have Feds Feed Family who has come to us to help us to get more produce out in the area.
So let's talk about the federal government program for the Feds Feeds Family. Feds Feeds Family for the last 6 years has provided over 24 million pounds of food through donating food from their employees and now through the gleaning process. Last year, the federal government donated 9 million pounds of food. The federal government, we are gearing to make a difference. It takes a village to make a difference, and that's what we're doing. You also have a warehouse in which you all sort the food. Can you tell us a little bit about where your warehouse is and what's the process at your warehouse?
Okay, so what happens is, let's say we have a gleaning event, and of course when they're picking, sometimes you have yellow leaves, or you might have, we do sweet potatoes, we do cabbage. There are some items that just we cannot send out because it's just not, it's not edible for a family to eat. So basically what happens is it goes to the warehouse, and we do a sorting, and that's where the gleaning goes into. Okay. That's a process in order to separate the good from the bad. That's why we call it gleaning. Okay. So basically what happens is the warehouse, we get volunteers such as Feds Feeds Family, and what we do is we box it up again. So then it's refrigerated, and then it goes out to the agencies. The most important thing that we've been able to do since Feds Feeds Family is get more volume out into the community. There are many, many food deserts that are not being hit. The food deserts in Washington, D.C. especially, and in Baltimore, there are a lot of food deserts that they're not being hit, which means that there are places that they just don't have any support. There might be churches, there might be communities. There are a lot of places that need our support. So with Feds Feed Family, we've been able to hit more of these food deserts in the area. Feds Feed Family has done a terrific job. In 20 years, we've never cleared a field. Last week, we cleared a cabbage field, which means we cleared a whole cabbage field that the farmer was not able to, he was going to tell us that we're going to have to turn this over. Well, this time we could go back to the farmer and say, there's nothing back really to turn over. Now we're able to go to the collard greens and the kale, and remarkably, you can see all of this right here. This has just been for 2 or 3 days. They've been able to clear all that over here. This is starting to grow again, and we plan on clearing this probably this week because the volume of Feds Feed Family, the impact has been dynamic, and I'm really grateful to Feds Feed Family because in numbers of volunteers, we had 57 yesterday at just one event. That's not including other events that we had in Eagle Tree. We had another event out in Freeland, Maryland. Probably, I want to say an estimate of probably about 120 volunteers came out in one day and a weekend.
Wow,
even
amazing.
On Sundays, we're having people come up to the warehouse from the Feds Feed Family to help us sort. We're doing tractor trailer loads of product that's going to go out Monday morning. 4 to 5 tractor trailer loads that will go out in the community and it's going to help feed others. And that's really important. And it makes me feel good. And our founder, who is Tom Chandler, and the CEO and founder of this, makes him all the hard work that he has done for the last 20 years, for him to look back and say, it's finally happening. Wow. It is finally happening. He's very, very grateful just to see a smile on his face to say, we're really starting to get this produce out to the neighborhoods and the communities that are in need.
So would you say that the Feds Feeds Family program helped bring awareness to this program, and now the volunteer numbers have increased because of this initiative?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely. We have the volume that we've had to get more trailer space, we've had to get more refrigeration, we've had to get more trucks, we've had to get even more bags. At one time we were just going through a pallet of bags in a week. We're going through a pallet of bags every 2 days.
Wow,
which
that's
comes
amazing.
It's like 6,000 bags. So yes, the Feds Feed Family has done, we're more grateful to them than anything. We're also grateful to all those other volunteers that also come out in the community. We've always had volunteers that supported us, but volume is very important in volunteers, because if you look at all this right here, just yesterday we had close to, I think it was like 30,000 pounds.
Wow.
And we're still counting. So
In one day,
in
30,000
one
pounds
day.
in one day.
Now that's just one event.
Wow.
That's not including what we did corn. That's not including when we did string beans. You know, these are all, I mean, it's just, it's terrific. It's awesome.
If people wanted to volunteer, what would they need to do?
Go on our website at midatlanticgleaningnetwork.org. Once you go on that website, you're going to see something that says events. Then you're going to have contact. Send us an email, give us a call, say that I have a group that's going to come out. They would like to come out on this day. We'll schedule a date for it. You come on out. As long as we confirm it, you're good to go. We have hours from Monday through Friday at the warehouse all the time, from 7 in the morning to 2 p.m. And just right now for Feds Feed Family, because of the volume and how many people are coming out, and just every week it's increasing. I want to say at least 20% every time they increase a volume of volunteers that are coming out. So now we've added even evening hours from 5 to 9 o'clock by appointment.
Okay.
And they're coming out. And we're getting a lot of calls and feedback on that.
Okay.
So,
can you provide us your phone and email so that when people want to call and reach out to volunteer, can you provide us that?
sure. You can email me at mhazel@midatlanticgleaningnetwork.org. And the phone number is 703-200-4373.
Thank you. Any last words that you would like to say or would like people to know about this effort or volunteering, period?
I definitely will. The most important thing to understand, not one person can do this. This is a we program, not an I program. And it showed that with Feds Feed Family and Magnet, Capital Area Food Bank, Maryland Food Bank, Arlington Food Assistance Center. You have MANA, Food for Others, Food for Friends. All these organizations and the churches and the community leaders, it takes all of us to help others. So it's a we program, it's not an I program. Not one person can just do this.
Thank you so much for your time, and we appreciate your hard work and dedication.
Thank you, Robin.
Have a good day.
You too.
My name is Gregory Isbell. I'm the Senior Director of Operations at the Mid-Atlantic Gleaning Network. And what I basically do is I handle all the day-to-day operations.
Okay.
So I make sure I coordinate all of the trucks coming in, all the trucks going out.
Okay.
I also oversee the acquisitions and negotiation pieces that allow us to receive food in from the different agencies or from business entities. So basically, we may have a purchase load of bananas coming from Del Monte. I would initiate that negotiation process, arrange all the trucking to get it trucked from their facility to our facility, and then take it, once it's here and gleaned, take it to the various agencies that we service.
Okay.
And primarily the agencies that we service are the Maryland food banks, the Capital Area Food Bank, Blue Ridge, all of the major food banks, Richmond. So we have an extensive reach.
Okay.
One of the other things that I directly oversee are some of our farm relationships, which we're up to about 50 farms.
Okay.
So we coordinate gleaning events throughout the week, and on the weekends, and so all of the food that comes in from these partnerships have to come to a central area, which is our warehouse, and it's processed here. So it's weighed when it comes in, then it's gleaned, it's packed, then it's reweighed and distributed.
Wow.
So we handle all of that here.
Wow, that's a wonderful thing. So, what would you say is the most difficult part about gleaning?
The most difficult thing about gleaning probably is relaying the message that is consistent. This is something that is ongoing all the time. People think that, I'll get tired and take a break. Well, hunger never takes that break.
Wow.
People that are in situations that put them in food risk or food insecurity, they see no relief.
Right.
So one of the things that I like to implore to anyone that has a heart to give back to the community is to really take that sentiment and really say, what can I commit on my end as far as my personal involvement. What would I commit to help someone not go to bed hungry?
Wow.
And that's an awesome commitment.
Absolutely. How many years have you been working with the Mid-Atlantic?
Not years yet, months.
Okay.
Months
Okay.
for me. I've been here about 3 months.
Okay.
However, I have worked in the past maybe 3 years with Mid-Atlantic. I worked as
a volunteer?
No, I worked as a director of
Okay.
another program, a similar program, sister program in Baltimore, Maryland. And so in that interaction, as the director of that program, Mid-Atlantic and myself, or my agency at the time, we worked hand in hand. So
Wow.
we would swap product, help one another transport product. Because we are a nonprofit, and the agency that I work with in Baltimore was a nonprofit, a lot of times there's what we call maintenance sharing,
Okay.
the sharing of the load, so to speak. So if I had a truck in a certain area, and Mid-Atlantic, when I was in Baltimore, Mid-Atlantic had a load to be picked up, we would coordinate. My truck might be coming back empty,
Okay.
so I would say, hey, I got a truck in that area. Do you have any product or any items coming back? Yeah, we do. Okay, well, I'll grab it and I'll bring it to you. Or I would grab it and take it to my warehouse. I would process it for them and send them the numbers, and then they would say, hey, can you distribute that in your area in Baltimore?
Okay.
And vice versa. So we always try to look at ways to save $1 and make our
Partnership.
transportation efficient, stretch our dollars.
Wow. Okay. Can you give us a tour of the warehouse so we can just see a couple of things?
Sure.
All right. Thank you.
This is the process of receiving in. So all items that come in through our doors. We bring it in. We weigh it on the scale. We begin to actually stagger it or sort it for processing. So on this side, we bring it in, we stick it into the warehouse, and then on this side, we bring it in and start the processing. So, for example, potatoes came in about 46,000 pounds of sweet potatoes came in over the weekend, Friday night. So they come in these huge farm bins, and the farm bins are somewhere between 1,800 pounds to 2,500 pounds. So once they come in like this, we weigh them, we do a weight process on them, and then we store them here, and then we bring them over, we unstack them, bring them over, and then our volunteers come in, our gleaners, and we show them the process of gleaning through and packing and sorting and putting them into bags. So once they're in the bags, they're like this, now they're ready to go. Now they're ready to go.
For distribution.
Ready for distribution.
To the food banks and the shelters and other areas that
Exactly.
receive.
Exactly. So yeah, once they come in, they're bagged, they're picked, they're in this state, then they're reweighed to just check. We keep track of our distributed weights, and then we also keep track of our waste.
Wow.
So right now we're operating probably at about 8%, maybe 10% of waste. 90% of our food coming in is getting to somewhere that can utilize the food. We have, if you come back here a little further, we have a refrigeration area. So once food comes in, we get the weight on it, we understand what it is, we check all the storage requirements on it. Most fresh fruits and vegetables are going to need refrigeration. Okay. So we will bring them in, get the weight on it, and then we bring it over here to our cooler area, and then so we begin to put it in. Now we have roughly enough capacity refrigeration-wise to store 2 tractor trailer loads of product coming in. So generally, a tractor trailer is going, a 53-foot box or refrigerated truck is going to hold somewhere around 30 pallets of product. So we have the capacity to hold about 60 pallets at this time.
Is the refrigerator full? One of them full?
Sure, yeah, this one over here is full, and you guys can see the kind of items that we bring in. and that we keep refrigerated. Not very good lighting,
Okay.
but as you can feel, the temperature is greatly reduced here. It
Okay.
smells like apples, huh?
Okay. Wow. Wonderful.
And then we have additional storage. That's for our main storage, things that are going to be here longer than
Okay.
maybe a few days.
Okay.
Our general policy is to get fruits and vegetables in and process them and get them redistributed in 48 hours.
Okay.
So 2 days, we want it in, we want it processed, we want it packed, we want it out.
Wow.
So it is an immense task. So we need volunteers.
Okay.
We need people that don't mind coming in and gleaning.
Okay.
Now we do the gleaning events and they're fantastic, and that really helps.
Good.
But there is a process that has to happen to get it to the point where people can use it.
Okay.
So we're doing the raw natural process of harvesting at the farms.
Okay.
And then but that it has to come here and it has to go through a second gleaning process,
Okay.
which is just a little more selective. It's in more of a controlled environment, and we're looking for to take as many imperfections out of that harvested crop and to get things back to the people that need it.
Wow, I thank you so much.
You're welcome.
What you're doing here is making a difference, and we're feeding millions of people. We're putting food back on tables which in otherwise people didn't have. So you're providing the resource that people need, and I thank you.
Exactly.
We are making a difference with the Mid-Atlantic Gleaning Network, Magnet, for the Feds Feeds Family Food Drive program. It takes a village to make a difference, and the federal government has made a difference with providing the village. This is The Impact with Robin Dorsey, coming to you live.